Does it ever get tiresome though? People saying to you, I want to see you dance, will you dance, when did you learn to dance, the whole dance
Well,
issue.
some of it, I don't know what's seen yet, but some of it I create too. I mean, sometimes I just enjoy doing it. You know, so it's not always imposed on me. It's a self-inflicted thing.
In Pulp Fiction, when Quentin got you to do the fantastic dance with Uma Thurman, which is just a sort of one of the defining moments of that movie, that was something he'd scripted in already and you knew what you were going to do?
He did, except that he only had the twist in mind. And I told him, I said, you know, there are more dances than just the twist. I said, when I was a kid, there were novelty dances like the swim and the hitchhiker and the, you know, the Batman.
Yeah.
So I said, if you're smart, you would use all those dances and just film them, call them out or something. So he agreed to that. I said, just the twist might be too much for that length.
That movie really kind of turned your career around again, though, didn't it? Because you had the big hit early on, and then you had a series of movies that didn't do as well. Did you ever worry and think, OK, that's it for me, the acting more or less has gone away now? Was there a period when you stopped receiving scripts?
Not too bad. I mean, I think once you establish yourself at the level I did, there's always scripts on that are possible. It's just what are they, and you know
whether you want to do them,
and what quality are they. But yeah, Pulp Fiction gave me my second Academy Award nomination, and that gave me everything up till today.
Yeah.
All the good films I've done in the last 12 years.
All right, let's talk about the new movie, because it's a very timely film in that you're a man of a certain age, I'm a man of a certain age. When a man gets to a certain age, he maybe feels that life's run away with him and he wants to have one last go at freedom, at wildness, and that's kind of one of the ideas behind Wild Hogs, isn't it?
Sure. Well, you know, we're a bunch of guys that hang out on the weekends. What we do is we have these Harley Davidsons, and it's a hobby. And when we get together, it's just beer and a chat, you know. Okay. So I have the bright idea of taking the bikes on the road, a long road trip across the United States. And I seduce the guys into doing it, except they don't know that I have a bunch of secrets and I'm escaping something. But they fall for it, and we hit the road hits back. And you land them in trouble on the way, but it's great fun. It's a comedy more than anything else. But it's always a broad comedy. There's a sort of a serious idea behind it as well. What a great cast with you, though. I'm a big fan of Martin Lawrence. I love William H. Macy movies. And I would imagine, I would hope that it was as much fun to make as it is to watch. It was a blast. Yeah. We had a lot of time, more laughs between takes. And did you ride all your own bikes in it, or did you have stunt bikers at various stages? Well, we had some, but most of them we had to ride because we were quite visible, you know. So I enjoyed every bit of making it. I mean, it was long days, but with all the energy of those special talents, it was easy to keep going. Because I didn't think you did the long days. I'd read somewhere, and I don't think it's true. It was the first time I gave into the long days in a long time. But when you do these multiple star films, you have to concede. It used to be. I read somewhere you had a contract saying you wouldn't work past 6 o'clock at night. Yeah, that's true. I wanted to see my kids. That's a great idea. If you got the power to do that, why not? Well, I actually got it from Gene Hackman. He told me I said, you can put limits on these things? And he told me he could, and I said, you know, that's a good idea. I'd like to have a family life, too, and not just work till midnight every night. And it worked. I got to put the kids to bed, and I got to have dinner with my wife, and I got to learn my lines and go to sleep. And if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have been able to. So it was actually a very healthy thing, and it changed a lot of Hollywood's thinking. So he managed to get that balance, and he owns 2 planes and 3 pilots. Isn't that a life you would like to know what it's like to live? Let's have a look at the kid. This is John in action with just a fabulous cast around him in Wild Hogs. It's out here on the 13th of April. Look at this.
There are no rules on this trip, remember? We're just heading for the Pacific, and there ain't no plan. Who knows where we're going to be?
I know where we're going to be. Dudley hooked me up. Check out this thing. It's a GPS in my phone now. Look at that thing.
Kid, let me see. That's cool. Look at that. What'd you do that for? For the good of the trip. You don't need a GPS to discover America. You need a bike and you need the road, okay? Freedom. And if we have an emergency, I got a cell phone. You don't. What? Hey! Why'd you do that? I got all my data in there.
Well, how does that feel, Woody?
It's good. Woo! It's my prerogative. No cell phone.
Wait a minute.
Come on,
Doug, he's right.
No, wait. We gotta go.
And I believe it's done phenomenally well, I know, in Australia. And in America, it was like the highest grossing comedy of the year, or highest...
It broke 5 records when it came out. It broke my personal record. It broke Tim's record. It broke the movie industry's record, and it was the biggest comedy in history. So
So it's been the biggest comedy opening weekend sort of thing in American history?
Well, yes, they do it in sectors and in that sector of time and all that. But anyway, it was exciting, and I thought as I got older, I thought the weekends would get smaller, and they got bigger, and that was very exciting.
Hey, John, if Ricky was to ask you to be an extras, and I don't know if he would are you familiar with extras? Do you know of Ricky's work? Would you consider being an extra?
Well, now that we've napped together and waiting to come on and all, I'd probably do anything he said.
Yeah. You know, in parts of Germany, you're now officially married if you've stepped on a man's leg. You have to do what he says. Ricky, would you like John on? Have you got a part for John?
Yes, and if we're married, I'm divorced and I want the 2 planes.
Hey, do you have a big prenuptial? I know this is a very personal question, but in America, you get married, you've got to look after your planes. What? I'm not talking to you anymore. Go away.
What sort of segue is that?
Well, you just mentioned divorce. You know the way my brain works. It barely functions.
I wanted to be in extras. Let's get this signed now. This is a contract. He's in the extras special.
John, is it a deal? Will you deal on the extras?
Okay. Sounds good.
Brilliant. In England, that is binding.
You know what? Hey, in a minute, why don't you come out and you two dance together, and then it will be official, OK? John, I'm just enamoured of your work. I love seeing you on screen. I like the way you live your life from the sound of things. We've touched on your dancing in a roundabout way. Let me ask you a question here, and I'm not going to mock this because I know it's an important thing to you. I want to ask you about Scientology. Sure. Because you're one of the 2 most kind of famous practitioners, I don't know if that's the correct word, of Scientology. There's Tom Cruise, of course, who we all know about, and you for many years have talked about it. What have you got out of it, and how do you make, or what do you make of the scorn that many people pour upon Scientology? It seems to me that you come in for more flack than any other faith or belief system out there.
Well, I don't know about that as much anymore, but certainly, you know, I've been involved 32 years in Scientology, and it's given me all the tools to survive in life that I need, and it helps so many people, and we're all over the world, and we go out of our way to help people, and whether it's natural disasters or personal help with their lives, and I've always found it an enormous help and tool for me to survive better. And right from the start, I always had a wherewithal, because of their help, to never self-destruct, you know. I could always use the tools to better myself and become more able and more in communication with people and have more fun.
You know, now one of the things that was in the news over here about Scientology was recently, of course, Tom Cruise and his lovely wife have had a baby. And it became newsworthy in the papers that apparently Scientologists believe that a birth should be silent if possible. Now, I know your wife is a Scientologist. Did you achieve that? Did you have silent birth?
It's pretty simple stuff, really. All it is when pain, there's a lot of pain involved in a birth, or there can be for the baby and for the wife. And often verbiage is recorded and in the mind.
So a baby, maybe even if he doesn't understand what's going on, will hear the sound or get the impressions of the emotions.
Yes, yeah. And they can be anything from what the doctors are saying, or the fears, or the concerns of the people around. And it's just, even when a person has an accident or hurts themselves, it's just better to be quiet when they're being
But here's the thing I'm asking you, how do you manage that? Because when my wife was having the baby, there were times when she was calling me some things which all right, maybe history has proved her correct, but...
well, noise is different than verbiage.
Okay.
See,
so just would be a bad thing?
Yeah, screams if you have to is fine, but it's the
don't be saying things.
The content of the meaning of a word that could have impingement later on in life, do you see? And that's what you don't want. But if you want to make noise, it's fine.
Okay, now, John, like me...
Yes?
Has waged a constant struggle with his weight. Is this right, John, in recent years?
No.
Yeah, you get big and you get small
Come on.
again. You do, don't you?
Come on now.
You did. I read you on a special diet where you...
Big. I gain maybe, 10, 15 pounds, and I lose 10 or 15 pounds.
But I don't mean you were grotesque and you needed a forklift truck to get into
your place. You gotta be specific.
Okay, I meant you're a man who occasionally...
Likes to eat. I would like to eat now because you've kept me here for 17 hours and I'm starved. Do you have anything to eat at all? Thank you. For God's sake.
Not all of them. They're for me as well. Why don't you take them all? How many of those
I prefer a pizza.
John, how many of those could you eat in one sitting, do you reckon?
One, because,
One?
One. That's all.
What's wrong with you?
Well, if you had a pizza, I'd eat the whole pizza.
Well, I don't have
feel
a pizza.
Sweet. All right.
Have one. You have one,
no,
I have one.
I don't really want one. Now I got my hands
well,
dirty.
You don't want one now. I bought you donuts. Yeah,
well, because I haven't had dinner yet, and this is dessert.
Stop whining and eat a donut, Travolta. Just relax. No, let's not talk for me. Let's just enjoy the moment.
like we're making love or something.
Or something. Hey, John.
That's all. I can't eat anymore.
I wish I bought you a pizza.
Oh, now that's a better idea. Look, just leave that there.
Don't even leave it. That's on eBay tonight. Hey, John. John, how long are you spending in the UK? When do you go back to the United States, and how do you intend to spend the rest of the year?
The sugar's kicked in.
Yeah.
Here for 3 days, and then off to Germany, then go back to the United States.
Ricky, hey, Gervais. Ricky,
What?
do you want to come out and dance with John before he goes so we can cement the extras deal? Come on out and have a dance with John. Come on,
Yeah, of course.
Come on out. Come on, Ricky, come on. Come on, yeah.
Do the twist.
You can talk.
Should we do the twist? Should we do the twist?
I can only do one dance.
Oh, he's only got one dance. This is going to be good.
Okay, can you follow the lead?
Go ahead.
Okay, okay. So it's...
Spin me! Spin me! Spin me! Ricky Gervais and John Travolta, ladies and gentlemen. John, God bless you. Thank you, John. I've now pulled some sort of inner organ as well. I've got a spleen leak.
Sorry, that was me.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Ricky again, but join me, please, in saying thank you to a genuine superstar.
We're not going to leave that in.
Yeah! That's gold, isn't it, John? John Travolta, ladies and gentlemen. Great to meet you. Thank you very much. John Travolta. Thank you to all my guests. Ricky Gervais, of course, Gareth Gates and John Travolta. Thank you, guys. All fabulous guests. How marvellous. We're making way